what he's saying,
bro.
But I think it's preference, and I think it's okay to preference. I will not date somebody who's not physically responsible, financially responsible. I won't do it,
and that's okay. That's your preference.
But if you do it,
tell me what you mean by financially responsible, because here we go. So I think we talked about this in building relationships with people, right? So everybody gonna have their flaws. So you mean to tell me she can have everything goes right, but because she's I don't know, she's just terrible with finances? It's like you're gonna be like, bye.
Well, you broke with your ex-girlfriend because she slept with me, but she never was right. Bad example. That's the table. My name's Tariq. Ethan Taylor.
Stacy Walker. It's your girl Vanessa.
It's Alyssa
here.
Theta.
Eddie. That's your question. You said it earlier, unequally yoked. Well, if I believe in having my 850 credit score, I'm well. Maybe your 500 ain't gonna be enough.
Exactly. Unequally yoked does not only apply to spiritual things.
Yeah, very true.
It's a difference in value, fundamental value system.
I've seen marriages end because of the way one parent disciplines their children.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They found each other, but just because I want the way you did my child.
Because that one thing is extremely important to that person.
All right.
Okay. That being said,
individual value. So
no, but that being said,
hold on. So that's because that's what you value, right? So I say this: don't throw me under the bus.
Okay. Say it.
Don't throw me under the bus. So if I want,
I'm already driving. Go ahead.
I know you is. So if I want my woman to look a certain type of way, is that wrong?
No.
That's you.
Yeah. So
no.
That's
you.
That's what you want.
You gotta look at it, not me.
Discriminate against nobody else. You can have your preference.
what's wrong?
I like that.
Discriminate as in put down or treat like garbage.
I'm gonna ask y'all.
Okay, but not discriminate like.
I'm gonna ask y'all this question.
Right, that's fine.
That's his preference. You don't gotta explain yourself to nobody.
If you're not attracted to a certain kind of person,
just don't be like you beautiful and you ugly, mama.
Talking about.
So I think that's where he goes.
So all right, so all the time I had this conversation, I'm kind of surprised that everybody was like, no, because usually when I have this conversation, I get that shallow.
No, you have a preference. I have a preference.
Now, what if
this is different, bro?
What if she
usually everybody be like, that's just shallow.
I mean, sometimes you gotta mind the way you word things. Sometimes I don't know if that may have
and
a cause.
it's your preference.
No
If
preference
you don't like,
what?
if you're not physically attracted, and I'm not saying physical attraction is the only thing.
To
Now,
some
are there
people it is.
exceptions to the rule where you're probably not physically attracted to this person, they're not your type, but you got to know them, and over time you fell in love, and everything you want is in this person, but they don't look exactly the way you want them to, and now you have a great relationship. That does happen. So we're not ruling that out, but if you have a preference, that's fine.
Financial things can kind of change also, like kind
No, I'll get it. It depends on what kind of person you are too. Like a lot of men, if you're financially well off, you don't mind being a provider, so maybe that's not important. But I can't have you destroying my finances while you're at it.
There's a difference. So when we were talking about courting, it's like being ready for marriage. Your preference, how she looks, has nothing to do with her being like her value of being married.
Like I give you an example, depending on who you date. A lot of people, hey, before I date you, can I check your credit? Some people serious about that.
Yeah.
Cause me and you get together, we want to buy a house.
Right.
But she ain't tell me she had a 330.
Something.
I ain't gonna get that low.
Your preference is a slim body, right? And then you get married, and then the babies come, or the babies don't come, and she just kind of goes through a phase where she gets bigger, she gets fat, she gets little meat,
Fall in love with more body.
Now, are you gonna leave her just because now she's not your?
That happens to people.
You can't fall in love with more body.
You should leave her.
You should.
You can't leave her.
Because
bro, you can't, bro.
That's not biblical.
Okay. Me personally, I feel like in a marriage you have to work, and obviously I don't know. You have to work and make them better. There is difference between finances
I know, y'all go ahead
and
and pick and
physical
choose.
things.
I know, go ahead and pick and choose.
So, okay, so you're married, slim, and she gets bigger. I feel like if you love her enough and you're even like conscious about her health or something like that, there's an approach and a positive way to let her know, like, babe, I think you know, we should maybe go to the gym together. Like, we can work something out,
And
something like
sometimes
that.
I mean, you
Love
just gotta look
can't
correct
help
and
it.
say.
Ooh,
It's sometimes medical.
And so, but like with the finances, it's like, bro.
Love her through it.
You
No.
can't teach nobody finances.
yeah, that's what
You
I'm saying.
can teach a
Well,
finance.
I'm
Are you
just
ready to
saying,
get married?
You
No.
But I feel like y'all picking and choosing.
I think it comes to expectations too.
Bro, y'all
I think we
picking
get
and
married. Hey, she gets pregnant, start having. I might expect a little weight gain on her, but I still expect you to get your feet done.
Okay.
I don't come here with no
His expectation.
Flintstone feet.
But okay.
Tell me,
Okay,
it's not,
I
you
wanna-
don't love me for who I am. No, I'm not.
I want to say this
I'm
though.
good.
We talked about this on the first. I think we didn't really get into it on the first
Right.
show, but we kind of dabbled in it, and that's something that I'm like. I don't want to say it's a pet peeve, but I'm really big on, especially when I'm talking to like single people or people that are courting. I'm like, listen, you need to have premarital counseling. You know why? Because these are the subjects that come up in premarital counseling, and you might not have discussed this, and it is it will be a problem in your marriage. These are stuff you have to talk about before you get married. Is weight gain gonna be an issue for you? If I put on 50 pounds, you know, are you gonna think I'm gross and nasty? You don't want to touch me? These are things we need to talk about.
Gotta be on the quarter.
It's a legit thing.
Yeah.
Finances, money, sex, how we raise our kids. All these things are stuff we have to talk about before we actually get married, because whether you believe it or not, love is not going to just take you through those issues if we're not on the same page.
Should it?
What?
I said should it.
Should love take
Should
you
love-
through trials and tribulations and war and death?
So,
Ideally, it should.
I think your vow should.
okay, here we go.
Absolutely, it
Ah.
should.
Alright, here we go.
It should.
So, well, he read my mind. So, this is what I heard the preacher say, and I agree on 100%. Once you do evaluation, you get married. He say, in the counseling session, he was like, now, before we do this, he was like, I need both of y'all to think about this. He said, think of the worst thing that can never happen in your marriage. He said, think of the worst thing. He said, rather it's cheating. He said, rather she mess up financially. He said, think of the worst thing. He said, if that thing happened, or when that thing happened, he said, understand that you can't get out of it.
Are you still willing to go through this?
Right. So,
Exactly.
mom wouldn't need her to be on point financially. She do that for 20 years straight. And then all of a sudden, that 21st year, God, man, girl, what is wrong with you? What you? Leave you, bro.
After 20 years?
You
at the table. Actually at the table.
Till death do him part, y'all.
Don't play it in court.
Hey,
Right, and like
that sign is.
I get married to the love of my life. We talk about, hey, babe, you gonna keep everything straight, everything right? Yeah. She go for 20 years. On that 21st year, or whatever bridge she had, mental breakdown. And she just, wow. I'm supposed to leave her? No. But again,
she can blow up and still keep it straight. Damn.
but
Damn.
look,
What?
all I'm
It
saying
shouldn't
is,
take a whole year
no,
for that to happen.
but my whole point is, in relation to love, right? So, I'm gonna go with the Bible definition, right?
Yes,
So,
please.
and-
Please.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but so there's this part where it talks about love is patient and it's kind. Then it says long suffering.
For sure.
So it's like, in as much as we want to, so I'm gonna go to the Christian aspect. In as much as we want to think that we can do whatever we want to do, just what God said, we can think that we can do whatever we want to do. Well, if we become, I think we talked about it today. So ultimately, our life isn't our own, right?
Right.
So once we become in Christ, it's like Christ. So God. So now we submit everything over to you. So present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, right? So now there's these principles and things that come, like the practical principles in the Bible.
Right.
Well, God now talks about this whole love thing, and even more highlighted when you get married. So in love, there's this patience, there's this kindness, there's this forgiveness, there's this long suffering, there's this all this stuff.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, you kind of like, once you make that, this, you know, unless, what is it, adultery? Yeah, unless it's adultery or, Bible says like, hey,
Yeah, if you're
dude
beating
beat
me,
you up and stuff like that.
yeah, it's a no.
Nah, you gotta go, bro. It's like you gotta go.
We ain't working through that.
Yeah, but everything else,
You work through it.
You work, absolutely.
Work, keyword work. Not just go through it, you work. I feel, I'm not married, but I feel like you gotta work. Just work through
I'm
it.
gonna tell you the dangerous part about you talking about being. I mean, it's a way to be attracted to somebody, but a problem with their body. What if they don't just lose, start eating and gaining weight? What if they get in a car accident and they get paralyzed?
And I said medical.
They lose their legs, they
You know
lose
what I'm
their
saying?
feet,
bro.
I mean, yeah, leg gone
your
now.
arm, and
I was worried about how feet getting done. She don't got done.
It's cool.
It's tough.
He said that the primary focus of like marriage
It's
is
good.
right is love
If marriage or to get married.
in the marriage.
The same thing.
Whichever. Me, I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
personally, I feel like you should have a why.
Unconditional.
no, but it's unconditional.
No, but it's, I kind of understand what she's saying. In for like with goals, anytime when you have goals or you're in a job and they say, all right, what's your why? What's your why to help you go through?
I have to
this
interject
goal.
on that one, Eddie. You said it's different with the children, and I think, and I don't know if that's a new concept.
That's the problem.
Me and my children are not one flesh. Me and my husband are one.
Right.
I am supposed to be in an agape love with our spouse because marriage is one of the only relationships that truly reflect God's love.
Yeah.
That's the one thing he uses as an example about his love all the time. The bridegroom and he uses it all the time.
Christ
It's
in the
never
church.
a mother-child type of love. So I feel like we downplay the strength and the importance of this agape love in a marriage because that is what's going to keep you committed. And it's not because of the feeling of love, it's the choice. You're choosing to love this person unconditionally through whatever it is. And that's your why.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And
That
that always
always
have to
like
be
why
your why.
is there have to when Alyssa asks the why, it's a what it could be a choice because I was saying the difference from the child thing, you don't choose your child and we don't choose our parents.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But but when you're marrying, just like you're if you're going, and I don't want to downplay that because marriage is way more important than a job or your goals or dream, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, I'm just using this as an example because anytime when you have a dream and you have a goal and they say to write down your whys because there's going to be tough times that when you want to give up, but this is my why. It's good that you have that why. It's okay to have that same approach with your marriage. Be like, why did I say yes? Why did I choose this? Because when the tough times comes, you could reflect and be like, this is my why. That it's good to have a why.
I
Because,
agree.
you know,
We're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of what men and women are looking for, and as far as expectation goes, because that's a big thing. Probably we'll try to do that on our next show. Okay, but thanks again for tuning in. Like, comment, share
it. Come on.
subscribe,
Share
subscribe.
it,
Okay,
and engage.
please engage. We love to hear from you. Thank you for all the DMs. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all your comments. We really, really appreciate it. And as usual, meet us at the table. So we just watched episode number 5. Yeah, that's deep. But we got to 5 full.
it was a lot of content.
Yeah. So
Consistency is key.
for real. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We are so appreciative of all your support. Please remember, subscribe, share, comment. We want to hear from you. We want to hear all your thoughts.
Hit that bell for notifications.
Notifications.
And no DMs, just comment. Comment.
Okay, so this was kind of episodes 3, 4, and 5 were like all to do with dating versus courting, which we did get a lot of feedback. I mean, people were reaching out and saying, they really didn't know there was a difference between dating and courting, and now they're really glad that they do know the difference between dating and courting.
Even I learned a thing or two.
Right. So it was good that we kind of went over that. And if we can just kind of remember that dating obviously is a more casual type of experience where we're more in exploration, but remembering that as children of God, there's a way that we date. We want godly dating, or talking to, that kind of thing. We don't want anything to be pushing outside of the arena of God's word.
Higher standard for us, all right?
For sure. And courting is when we are seeking a relationship with intention, with the intention to be married.
Something a bit more serious and a bit more committed.
Oh yeah, commitment. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For the do's and don'ts of courting, at this point we just started talking about courting, and we were talking about just being honest and being upfront and how important that is. But I think one of the questions that was being posed was, how soon is too soon to be upfront?
How soon? Too soon to be a friend?
Like, okay, for instance, in one of the episodes we were talking about, our past. If I'm a person that had multiple sexual partners, and now, okay, I'm saved, I'm looking for my husband, but that is my past.
Oh, that episode.
There are some people like me that want to know right away.
Yes, I mean, listen, the earlier the better, right? Before you actually invest so much emotional ties, and you definitely want to know certain key information.
If it's important to you, that is.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's something that you two should definitely communicate about and discuss with each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it safe to say it's a case by case, or is it just about?
I mean,
Listen, ask up front. Whatever is important to you need to ask up front. Like the second time you see the person, like, so okay, now that we cool.
Facts.
Yeah,
You know,
if
doubt
it's
lingering.
whatever is important to you.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it is case by case, but I agree. I mean, I would hate to, like we were saying, spend 6 months of my life invested. Now I'm, I
Emotionally
caught
tied.
feelings.
Yes, all of that.
And now you tell me you had, 50 partners. That's a problem. Like, I can't handle
6
it.
at one time. Magic. What are we doing? So, all right, my bad. I shouldn't have went.
Them college days is a little crazy.
Being upfront with your intentions, being
Yes.
upfront and being honest is definitely key. It's a do.
Yes, and earlier the better.
Earlier the better. Just talk about it for sure. Also, making sure that we're both on the same page intentionally, and I think that's something that messes us up in the courting and dating arena, because we're not letting people know up front that, hey, I'm not trying to casually date. Hey, I'm trying to find a husband, and we kind of lead them to believe that it's okay, that we could just be whatever. And now it's a year later and this person isn't getting serious and we're wondering why.
Because it's whatever.
Exactly. You never said that was something you were looking for from jump.
Yeah.
So now it's an issue,
Yeah, facts.
That being said, being on the same page, being equally yoked.
Yes, and we've learned that could be many layers, right? It's not only just on, I guess, your belief system. Well, it is your entire belief system, but not just in regards to faith, but just in
mindset,
regards to,
maturity,
all of that.
Yeah.
So
Finances. Shout out to Ethan. So all of that encompasses, but of course, most importantly, is spiritually. You do not want to be unequally yoked with an unbeliever, someone that does not believe in God, and someone that's not, as spiritually mature as you are, whatever that may be.
Gotcha.
Another point that was brought up: time frame of courting to be safe. How long is it too long to be courting? Like
How
2
long is
years,
too long?
3 years? Like, can we be boyfriend and girlfriend for 5 years?
Listen again, it's all like if you're 18 and 21, 22, it's different when you're 40 or 35. So
True.
you just gotta just know where you fall into that bracket. Where's your season? And some people don't got all that time.
And open communication, once again, is also a key in that as well. Communicating with your partner and seeing where they are in that process.
But again, I always still go to, and I'm not trying to start a whole new episode, but my belief is like, it don't take really 5 years for you to know really. That's the, like, come on, you know.
Facts.
But again,
Well, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, and I got a little flack for it too, and that's okay. I'm not upset. Y'all was trying to come for me, but it's okay. What I'm saying is,
I gotta look at that episode again.
yes, because I said in one of the episodes that again, if you're not ready in a space where you're ready to be married, I don't think you should be courting at all. I don't think you should be looking or seeking. I feel like you're
wasting anybody's time.
You're wasting people's time.
Yeah.
You're getting emotionally entangled. You're creating baggage that doesn't need to be there. And unfortunately, when we have baggage, we carry it into our relationship. So now I got baggage that I didn't need to have, but now my husband got to deal with it.
I'm sorry, we gave you slack for that. I'm sorry.
They gave me slack because listen, I said I don't think an 18-year-old should get married. They was like, what?
No,
I'm just saying.
Different viewpoints.
Yeah, different.
Different viewpoints. But I think definitely we should be mindful and not put ourselves in situations where we are at high risk to fail. Okay.
Don't give room for the devil to play. All right.
We also talked about deal breakers in episode 4, where we're talking about preferences, where I think was a big thing, and I think we'll probably talk about that a little bit more even when we do our couples episode. Y'all look out for that. But what are some deal breakers that we should talk about before we get into an not an engagement, but a relationship before we start getting serious?
Yeah.
Like, what am I willing to put up with?
Yeah.
And
And that all goes to just being honest with yourself. Don't ever lie to yourself.
And your doctor.
Don't lie to your doctor. That's bad. For
Very bad.
but yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine to have preferences. I think one of the points that Zay made was, is it shallow to have a type? Like, I like tall, slender girls or whatever that you do like. Is that a problem? No, that's your preference. But again, I think when it comes to preferences, we also
don't want to be prisoners to it.
Yeah.
Don't be prisoners to it. Yeah. Don't be prisoner to your preference.
Yeah.
Like, just because not everybody ding ding ding. If they got a few dings on it, all right, then just it's worth a try to see something. But again, don't be a prisoner to your preference. That's all.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Don't be a prisoner to your preference.
Like, don't rush into marriage because you want to have intercourse with this one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
That shouldn't be like the man. I want to have.
I just want to have sex. I gotta marry you.
Yeah. That's not a good reason to get married.
It's not worth it.
Because there's more to marriage, right?
Yes.
There's more to marriage than sex. So.
And I mean, sex goes away. There's seasons.
It
There's
goes away.
There's fluctuations.
Hold up, we need another episode. Nah.
Okay.
We had fun though, y'all. And listen, man, we enjoyed all of you all just sitting at the table and just vibing with us too. So again, make sure that you comment, man. Can't wait to hear from some of y'all again. So we'll see more. Or there's gonna be like new people on the table.
Next week it's gonna be men's edition, guys. You gotta tune in. It's gonna be so dope, and we're asking the age-old question. What do you know? It's gonna be good. So you gotta tune in. Mondays, 8 p.m. We're looking for you. We're waiting for you. We're trying to sit at the table with you. All right?
Join us at the table.
Join us at the table.